A second installment, as you remember that yesterday we have our first installment with the Minister of Finance, Maneslisi Dubase, who emphasized vigorously on issues of economic transformation and growth, because the biggest issue that this country is facing is to revive its ailing economy. And today we are on our second installment with the Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Davies. He will be emphasizing mostly on industrialization. You'll recall that the African Union took a resolution that the continent should industrialize and beneficiate, because we are exporting a lot of raw materials to foreign countries. Therefore, we don't benefit maximally on our raw materials. But I'm here the coordinator of this Progressive Business Forum, which has been taking place for some time now, and that is Mr. Darrell Swanepoel. Mr. Darrell Swanepoel, just give us a background of this engagement. What are you looking at achieving through such engagement?
Sure, well, thank you very much. Well, the whole reason for the Progressive Business Forum is to ensure that there's an ongoing conversation between the business community of South Africa and the policymakers of our country, the ANC leaders in government. So the purpose is to ensure that we build a partnership between corporate South Africa and our leaders in government, because government cannot deliver the economic growth that you've been speaking about now on its own, neither can business. So this is about bringing the two together to develop a joint path forward. So we've been holding these breakfasts over many years already, conversations, policy discussions, summits like the Construction Summit, the Financial Sector Summit, and so that's the purpose of it, yes.
And do you see any fruits coming up of these things? I mean, are you seeing any benefit in terms of partnerships?
Well, sure. We've many of the transformation discussions that we've been holding in these forum discussions have been finding its way into the policy of government. How it works is that we, as the Progressive Business Forum, arrange the engagements, and our information is fed into the Economic Transformation Commission, a committee of the ANC, and into the various policy processes of government departments. So the discussions that take place find its way into, eventually, not everything we do finds its way in, but you can see elements of what we are talking about finding its way into government policy.
Mr. Swanepoel, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
And that is Mr. Darrell Swanepoel, who's coordinating this Progressive Business Forum with the ANC. They take place all the time on the sidelines of the ANC conferences. If now this policy conference will be going on until Wednesday, and this business forum will always be engaging various business people. I have one of them right now, Mr. Khatebe, who is one of the business people who is also here to come and engage leaders of the ANC on the issues of economy. Mr. Khatebe, thank you very much for coming and for availing yourself. What do you look at achieving, or what do you look at benefiting in terms of engaging top ANC officials and cabinet ministers in forums like these?
Maneslisi, thank you very much for inviting me to have a chat with you. As you know, Maneslisi, our country is facing three evils: unemployment, inequality, and poverty. And unemployment has reached crisis proportions. We therefore need to engage robustly with government leaders, particularly our ministers, on how are we going to ensure that we develop best policies that will ensure growth and transformation, and make sure that we really lift our country out of the technical recession that we're in right now. And I'm very pleased that particularly Minister Davies is passionate about industrialization. And I think we need to focus on that. And all hands must be on deck on developing our country, the industrial sector, because that's the one that will solve the unemployment problem in our country. Thank you very much.
The issue of policies, Mr. Khatebe, it's good. I mean, it's as good as I can emphasize. But the issue lies with implementation, and on both sides, both in government and in private sector. Are you implementing what you discussed?
That's the real focus. We've got too many beautiful policies and plans that we've developed over years on this country. The key is to implement with absolute resolution and focus. Thank you.
Mr. Hadebe, thank you very much. We hope that we will be starting to see that process of implementation of these policies so that our people can benefit from forums like these. And let me take this opportunity to bring or to take you back to the studio once again.
Let me recognize the Treasurer General of the African National Congress, my colleague, Minister Zukwana. He's a farmer, so he doesn't mind getting up early in the morning.
Do you support the calls made by Bladen Nzimande and Solly Mapaila?
It is not a call by Comrade Solly Mapaila and Comrade Bladen Nzimande. It is the position of the party.
Yes.
And the position of the party, we support it.